And welcome back to the second part of this tutorial. And now before I go any further, let's create a database. So I'm going to click on blank and let's just give that a name. I'll call it student DB, and let's click on create. There we go. Now I'm going to go to design view, and in there I'm going to give this a name. Just call it student DB as well, and we click on OK. Now we are in the design view. So the first field, I'm just going to enter student DB for that. Student ID, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to use numbers, so I just make that short text. Then let's go for first name, surname, address, postcode, and finally I'm just gonna enter telephone. There. So as you can see, all of the data type, I'm going to leave them as short. Okay, and right here we do have this as the primary key, and that is it. So I'm going to right click and just click on save. So that's one down. I can minimize the student DB now. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the control panel, and right inside the control panel we want to click on the administrative tool. Click on the administrative tool. In the administrative tool we want to select the ODBC data source. If your application, if your window is 64, since mine is 64, I'm going to select that. But if you are 32, you select 32-bit. Mine is 64. Double click on 64, and right there this dialog box opens up. ODBC data source administrator 64-bit. I will now select system DSN, and right inside system DSN I'm going to click on add. Once I add, I will select the driver that I want, Microsoft Access driver. As you can see, the extension for this database is ACCDB. Click on finish. There. Now we need a name for the database, so I'm going to give it exactly the same name, so that's student DB, and select. You see here, just select that so that we navigate to where the database itself is. And right there, let's double click on the document where my database is. I think it's right here. It's called students DB. There we go, and click on OK. Now the database is linked. Click on OK again. Okay, the file is open. That is why we have that error, so I'm going to close it. Alright, click on OK and just click on OK again. There we go. Now the file is in there, so make sure your database is closed. So I'm going to click on apply and OK. So I can now close all of these files there. So I'll close this now. There's nothing working in here, so close that, and let's go into the code view now. So right here inside the code view, the very first thing that I want to do is let's add the following libraries. So underneath here I'm just going to enter the following libraries, And this other one here that's giving me error, I'm going to be using that later on, so let's comment it out for now. So take a good look at the libraries that I'm going to be using. As you can see, they are all underlined because I haven't used any of them yet. Alright, that is fine. Now before I go any further, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go straight into the project itself. If you notice, the name of the application or the project is ms_access connection. So let's go into the project, and right here where we have ms_access connection, I'm going to click on the library and right click on the library, and let's select add jar files. Those are the jar files that I need, every single one of them. So take a good look at them. Command login, hsqldb, jack access, rs2, xml, use can access. So I'm going to select them all. Let's see if I can. Yes, I can. And now just click on open. There we go. All the files that I need are now in place. That's good. Now back in here. So I'm back in the code view now, and right here I'm going to declare some global variables for the data connections. And right underneath my project here that is called public class, the name of my project, I'm going to enter as follows. So let's say connection, and the connection I'm just going to call that con. That is the very first one. The next one is going to be the prepared statement. Let's say prepared statement, and that is going to be PST. That is fine. And I will also enter result set, and I'll just call that rs. That is good. The next thing is, let me declare an integer variable. So that's going to be I_q. There we go. So that's my variables declared. Okay, I'm going to create a function right underneath this construct. So let's make that public. So I'm going to say public void, and we just call that, let's say ms, ms access db, open a bracket, and I'm going to enter in there because I want this inside this parenthesis. I'm going to add some argument to it, and that's going to be for the table, and the table, that is going to be table number 1. Okay, so let's say jtable 1, come out of it, enter coil braces. Okay, let's use try. There we go, try cache. Might as well just complete that cache there. And the cache statement, what? Oh, that should be exception. Let's enter an exception there. Exception EX there. Now let's enter a message in here for this exception EX. I'm just going to ask that to be JOption plain dot show message. Let's see, show message. That's fine. I will click on that, and let's just say no. Okay, that is fine. So that should undo any error that I might run into. So inside the try cache, let's start as follows. Let's say class dot forename, and that is going to be net dot use can access dot jdbc. Okay, and that is also going to be dot use can access driver. There we go, and just end that with semicolon. Now I do need the name of my, or the location where my database is. So let me open up the location of my database. I'm going to need the path. This is it right here somewhere, student ID. There we go, student DB. So select it, hold on to the shift key, and then right click on it so that we can copy the path. Now copy path. There, I've copied that very part because I'm going to need it. So now let's come in here and say con. That is going to be driver manager dot get components, no, get connection. That is, this is not C#, dot get connection, and the connection is going to be jdb DBC column you can access column /. Now I'm going to enter the path that I copied, and right in here I'm now going to paste my copied path there, and just get rid of this backslash and delete that quote as well. There should be one more here to be deleted. Right here, enter semicolon, and here get rid of that. Yeah, I think it's right. Okay, let's do one thing. Press enter so that we have it on 2 lines. I think that is fine. So let's come down here and just say statement st, that would be equals, let's say con dot create statement, and enter semicolon there. Now that create statement is in place, let's create a query in there. So I will then use that to query the location of my database. So let's say select all from student DB. Yep, that is fine, and that with semicolon, and I would then say the result that will be equals statement dot execute query, and the query is the query itself. It's officially there anyway. Alright, I also want to add everything straight onto the database if there's any, onto the table if there's any data in there. So I'm going to say jtable dot, let's say set model, and that is going to be db utility dot so result set to table mode, and we will set into the table that is RS. There we go. And I believe he's going to be asking for, yeah, that is it. He wants me to import this. I think I already imported it. Let's go up there. There we go. That is it right here. Okay, let's take out the comment, and that error should be gone. That is fine. Now I'm going to check to see if this will work. So I'm going to copy that, and let's go back to the, okay, now right click on the design itself, the form. I'm now going to add Windows window activate, and right in here just paste what I've just copied and get rid of this. I just wanted to get the first table. Let's see why the variable is not declared. Let's say maybe wrong spelling or something. Let's check out the table. Right click. Okay, it's lowercase. Copy that. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go back into my code. So this should have been lowercase. Yeah, and I think I need to correct this up here. Okay, I'm gonna leave that since there's no error, so that's fine. Okay, that's lowercase, the name of the table that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to save that, and let's click on compile, and let's run it and see how that's going to look like. Click on run. Alright, the table is working, although there's nothing there. So let me open up this very table and just enter whatever in there for now, just to confirm that it's working as required. Open that, double click on the table, enter as follows: 998201, and the name is, let's say it's Mary Allen, and address number 1, God's Son Place, and postcode, telephone number. There we go. So I'm going to save that, and let's close everything. I just want to make sure it works. So exit out, run the program again. There we go. Look at that, it is working. That's good. So guys, with that, I'm gonna call it the end of the second part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.